Hello everyone, I am K. Sadashiva. Welcome to my channel KLR Educators. So this is a course on modern Indian history which we are running on every Thursdays. And on our every Sundays we are having World Modern History course. So those who are watching my videos, I request you to watch these videos on Thursdays as well as on Sundays so that your entire modern Indian history as well as world modern history course will be completed. So in our previous lecture, we were discussing about the types of modern education that was introduced by the British. In that, we have clearly discussed about the Anglicist form of education as well as the Orientalist form of education. So today in our lecture, we are going to discuss the development of press during the time of British. So let's start with our today's lecture. So press in India and its development. So it is during the time of British. The first newspaper in India was the Bengal Gazette or the Calcutta General Advertiser, which was introduced in the year 1780 by James Hickey. So James Hickey was a person who introduced the Bengal Gazette or the Calcutta General Advertiser in the year 1780. But these newspapers were controlled by the British and they seized it when they faced excessive criticism. See, actually, these newspapers were running well, but what happened whenever they used to show or when they used to type the exploitative policies that were introduced by the British, it faced a lot of criticism, and that is why the British government used to seize these newspapers. Early press and its nature. It was mainly used to cater the intellectual entertainment of the Europeans. So why? As there were very less people who were educated, the circulation was very less. See, these newspapers were introduced and they were used to cater the intellectual entertainment. Means they used to deliver only the news regarding the Europeans because Indians were very much less educated and they used to read vernacular papers, whereas these papers used to carry out the news in English medium. That is the reason why, as the people were educated less, the circulation was less, and also these papers used to cater only the news regarding these Europeans. Also, East India Company was worried as these newspapers might reveal their malpractices that they are carrying out in India. So they were very much worried because East India Company knows very well that if anything controversy is written in the newspaper and its newspaper reaches England, then it will create a lot of problems for East India Company. So they always had a check on the news that is daily written in these newspapers. So they constantly monitored them and seized them during the time of controversy. They used to completely monitor the circulation or publication of these newspapers, and whenever they found any kind of controversy, they used to seize these papers. Press policy of the British. First policy was the Censorship of Press Act 1799. It was passed mainly during the time of Lord Wellesley and during subsidiary alliance. Every report was checked before publication, and if they find anything controversy against them, they just seized it. So, according to this act, the person is allowed to publish the newspaper. But if he is writing anything against the British government, then the publication will be stopped and the paper will be seized by this British government. So that was a provision under the Censorship of Press Act 1799. Pre-censorship power was with secretary to the government. So here the supreme or the head of the Censorship Act of Press 79 was a secretary to the government. He was responsible for all the publications that was done by the different newspapers. So this is one of the image of the Calcutta General Advertiser or the Bengal Gazette paper, which was the first newspaper that was introduced in India. Second policy was the Licensing Regulation Act 1823. So it was imposed by John Adams, mainly for obtaining license for printing and publication. So this Licensing Regulation Act 1823 was imposed by John Adams, and it was mainly for obtaining license for printing and publication. Penalty without license. So if you are not getting proper license to start your newspaper or to run your newspaper, okay, they will impose a penalty on you. The third act was a Licensing Act of 1857. So why this act was brought in 1857? As you know very well that there was revolt in the year 1857, and after that the British made many changes, and during making these changes they made changes in these newspaper acts also. That is why they introduced the Licensing Act of 1857. So it was enacted due to revolt of 1857. It tried to suppress the voice of Indian press because there was lot of controversy that was growing against the British. That is why the Britishers introduced this act and they suppressed the voice of Indian press. Press Act of 1867 AD. If you take this act, this was one of the important press acts as they ordered all the newspaper agencies to keep copy of the newspaper for future reference. So from year 1867, it was mandatory for all the newspaper agencies to keep a copy of the newspaper for future reference. So this is one of the important provision under the Press Act of 1867. If you take Restriction Act of 1870, the name itself indicates this is an restriction act. In this, the definition of sedition was clearly defined, and S.N. Banerjee was the first journalist who became the victim of sedition. So why they gave the definition of sedition? Actually, a lot of controversy and lot of rebellion was created by our freedom fighters against the British during this time. So S.N. Banerjee, being a journalist, was writing everything against the British government. That is why they imposed this Restriction Act and they suppressed S.N. Banerjee, and S.N. Banerjee became the victim of this sedition. So with this, we are done with our today's session. We have discussed a lot of acts that were passed by the British regarding the press in India. So in our previous lecture, we will be discussing the Vernacular Act, the most important press act that was passed by the British, the provisions under the Vernacular Act, and later we will be discussing the different agricultural policies that were introduced by the British. So hope you understood everything what we have discussed in our today's session. So if you like my video, please give a like, share this video to your friends, and also subscribe my channel if you haven't subscribed yet. And also please make a running notes of all these videos which will be helpful for your future reference. So thanks for watching my video. Thank you one and all. Jai Hind.